Hey, what's up? We are here in another video, another time in English. I'm tired of making videos, but let's make it. So this time I'm in a new subject, in a new class. This time I'm in human body care. Oh my god, this is the first video and maybe the last video because this is the final work. This is the evidence tree. And what we're gonna do. This is the first video collaborating. I'm here. Well, I have videos of my four partners of Dante Solórzano, Jorge Rodriguez, Jesus Barragan, and Santiago Quesada, and I leave their channels in the description and me obviously. So this is the first video where I have other people, so I hope you enjoy it, and we'll present you the evidence tree in human body care. So hope you enjoy it.
Hello, my name is Emmanuel Quesada, and today I'm going to talk to you about the male reproductive system and the path that the sperm follows. I'm from my class of human body care. So let's start. As we can see here is an image of a reproductive system of the male. As you can see here, we have the testes, we have the penis, the urethra, the urinary bladder, and all that parts that consist the reproductive system of a male. Then we have the major parts of the reproductive system. Well, these ones are the penis, the testicles, the urethra, the vas deferens, and the prostate gland. The penis, the organ that urine and sperm, seminal fluid, go through to the outside of the body. Testicles, two-way nut-sized organs that make sperm cells. The sperm units with an egg from a woman for a baby to begin. Urethra, the tube that goes from the urinary bladder through the penis to the outside. We have the vas deferens, the tube that carries sperm from the testes to the urethra. Sperm moves through the penis to the outside during ejaculation. It's important because this is part of our topic. Then we have the prostate gland, a gland that is inside the body and the base of the urethra. It secretes fluid that helps sperm move more easily. Now let's go to the next page. We have here the ejaculation. I'm going to talk about how does the ejaculation works and how the components of what does the ejaculation do, right? So we have a sperm leave the penis in a fluid called semen, the seminal vesicles, the prostate gland, and the bulbourethral glands, and secretion to semen. Add secretion to semen. The seminal vesicles lie at the base of the bladder, and each has a duct that joins with a vas deferens. The prostate gland is a single donut-shaped gland that surrounds the upper part of the urethra just below to the urinary bladder. Bulbourethral glands are pea-sized organs that lie below the prostate on either side of the urethra, and the component of the semen has a particular function. Sperm is more viable in a basic solution, and semen has a basic pH. Sperm requires energy, and semen contains the sugar fructose, which serves as an energy source. Semen also contains prostaglandins, local hormones that cause the uterus to contract, which helps the sperm move towards the egg. And now let's see like the image as I showed you. So here we start with the semen, then the semen goes the semen starts here and then goes to the ductus deferens, then goes to the ductus, go ahead, right here to the ampulla. Yes, here to the ampulla. We have here the seminal vesicle, and then when it needs to make ejaculation, the seminal vesicle from here goes through the urethra, and finally goes to the penis, and here to the penis, and then it goes at the final of the gland. And yeah, that's how the ejaculation works. And hope you like it. Thanks, and see you in yeah. It's important to know all this.
Hello, I'm Jorge Rodriguez, and I'm going to be talking about the hormonal regulation of the male reproductive system. So, this process occurs in mainly two parts, them being the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland. So, the hypothalamus is in charge of in the production of certain hormones, them being the gonadotrophin releasing hormone, it being the most important one here. And then we have the pituitary gland, who's in charge of producing the luteinizing hormone, also known as LH, and the follicle stimulating hormone. The gonadotrophic releasing hormone is also known as GnRH. So, next, we move on to the functions. So, the GnRH, it stimulates the synthesis and secretion of the gonadotrophins FSH and LH. It is regulated through a process of factors including the gonadal sex steroids, modulation by season, stress, and nutrition. Then we have the luteinizing hormone, which, when bloodstream testosterone levels are low, the pituitary gland is stimulated to release LH. LH binds to the interstitial cells, causing them to secrete testosterone. And then we have FSH. I'm sorry, I need to fix that. FSH, which is a follicle stimulating hormone, which stimulates the tentacular cells to release androgen binding protein, which promotes testosterone binding. Then we get testosterone, which is required for normal spermatogenesis and inhibits the hypothalamus, and inhibin, which derives from testosterone, which is produced by spermatogenic cells, which also, through inactivating activin, inhibits the hypothalamus. This is all in function with the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis. So as we can see here, we have the hypothalamus, where the gonadotrophic releasing hormone is produced, and this hormone stimulates the anterior and pituitary gland to produce LH, luteinizing hormone, and FSH, the follicle stimulating hormone. These then get sent to the male testes to produce testosterone, which then provide a feedback in case the testosterone levels are low, or to stop producing if they are high. That would be it. Thank you very much.
Okay, so now it's my turn, but first let me introduce myself. My name is Dante Solórzano Treviso, and in general terms, I'm going to present you today the female reproductive system. Okay, so now we're talking. To begin with, in this screen, like you can see here, there are females. This is because of the topic, of course, because what I'm going to teach you and explain to you. Pardon, sorry. So, the female reproductive system is designed to carry out several functions, like you can see in this image, and many other images. The female reproductive anatomy includes parts inside and outside of the body. The function of the external female reproductive structure is twofold, which is to enable the sperm to enter the body and protect the internal genital organs from infectious organisms. And the main external structure of the female reproductive system includes the following. So now I'm going to quit this, and here's the image, the important or main image that I'm going to use to explain everything to you. So, first, the labia majora, which enclose and protect the other external reproductive organs. The labia majora are relatively large and fleshy, and are comparable to the scrotum in males, which means like they're like similar to each other, which is right here, this one you can see here. Next is the labia minora, which is translated as small lips. The labia minora can be very small or up to 2 inches wide. They lie just inside the labia majora and surrounded the openings of the vagina, which is the canal that joins the lower part of the uterus to the outside of the body, and the urethra, the tube that carries urine from the bladder to the outside of the body, which is like you can see here, right, this one. The next is the Bartholin Glands, which are the glands that are located besides the vagina opening and produce a fluid mucus secretion, which is sorry about that. Back to it, the glands are in here, in this part of here. The next one is the clitoris. The two labia minora meet at the clitoris, a small sensitive protrusion that is comparable to the penis in males, which is, like I said before, similar to each other. The clitoris is covered by a fold of skin called the prepuce, which is similar to the foreskin at the end of the penis. Like the penis, the clitoris is very sensitive to stimulation and can become erect, which is right here, the urethra, the clitoris, the bladder, and many others. To continue, the next one are the internal reproductive organs in the female, or the following, which is the vagina. And the vagina is a canal that joins the cervix, the lower part of the uterus, right here, the uterus, to the outside of the body, and is also known as the birth canal, which is right here. The next is the uterus womb. I'm sorry about that. The uterus womb. The uterus is a hollow, tear-shaped organ that is the home to a developing fetus, which is the fetus. As well, the uterus is divided into parts: the cervix, which is the lower part of the opening in the vagina, and the main body of the uterus, called corpus. And the corpus can easily expand to a developing baby. A channel through the cervix allows sperms to enter and menstrual blood to exit. The next ones are the ovaries. The ovaries are small, oval-shaped glands that are located on either side of the uterus, and the ovaries produce eggs and hormones. The next one are the fallopian tubes, which are the narrow tubes that are attached to the upper part of the uterus and serve as tunnels for the ova, which is egg cells, to travel from the ovaries to the uterus. Conception is the fertilization of an egg by a sperm, normally occurs in the fallopian tubes, which are these ones. A conception, the fertilization of an egg by a sperm, normally occurs in the fallopian tubes. The fertilized egg that then moves to the uterus, where it implants into the lining of the uterine wall. So, to continue with, the ovaries produce the egg cells, called the ova or oocytes, which are then transported to the fallopian tube, where fertilization by a sperm may occur, right here. Then the fertilized egg then moves to the uterus, where the uterine lining has thickened in response to a normal hormones of the reproductive cycle, which begin the process of the fetus and so on. During the fertilization, the sperm and egg unite in one of the fallopian tubes to form a zygote. Then the zygote travels down the fallopian tube, where it becomes a morula. Once it reaches the uterus, the morula becomes a blastocyst. Then the blastocyst burrows into the uterine lining, a process called implantation. And finally, the vulva is a global term that describes all of the structures that make that make the female external genitalia. The components of the vulva are the mons pubis, labia majora, here, labia minora, this one, clitoris, this one, vestibular bulbs, vulva vestibule, Bartholin glands, skin glands, utera, and the vagina opening. So, that's it by my part. Yes, that's it for my topic. And thank you. Let's continue with the other guys. Okay, so that was all from me. That was my part. And now I'm going to give the word to my partner, who is going to present you the next part of the evidence.
Hello guys, I hope your day is going very well. I hope you learn a lot with my other teammates about their topics. Now I have the mine in a presentation. I am going to show you my topic, so I hope you like it. So let's go with the presentation. So here is my super presentation. Okay, let me just okay, yes. Okay, so like you can see, I am going to talk to you about the hormonal regulation of the female reproductive system. So let's go. We're going to talk about the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. So the hypothalamus ultimately controls the functions of the testes because it secretes a hormone called gonadotropin releasing hormone, GnRH, that stimulates the anterior pituitary gland to secrete the gonadotropic hormones that control the testes. The gonadotropic hormones are follicle stimulating hormone, FSH, and luteinizing hormone, LH, and they are found in both males and in females. So let me yes. Okay, now the hormonal regulation, the ovarian and uterine cycles, and the hormonal change that regulates them are known as female reproductive cycle. GnRH, gonadotropin releasing hormone, controls the cycles by stimulating FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, and LH, luteinizing hormone, from the anterior pituitary gland. The duration of the female reproductive cycle typically ranges from 24 to 34 days. For the sake of discussion, we will describe a 28-day cycle. Then we have the ovarian cycle. The ovarian cycle is divided into three parts. First one, the follicular phase, that during the follicular phase, FSH released by the anterior pituitary gland stimulates the development of the follicle in one of the ovaries. As the follicle matures, oogenesis, I think is pronounced like that, is initiated and continues, and the epithelial cells of the follicle multiply and secrete the female sex hormones, mainly estrogen. As estrogen levels rise, negative feedback stops the secretion of FSH, so that the follicular phase comes to an end. Then we have the ovulation. It is a release of the secondary oocyte from the follicle and into the oviduct. And last, the luteal phase. After ovulation, the luteal phase begins. During the luteal phase, LH promotes the development of the corpus luteum, which consists of the follicle cells left behind after ovulation. The corpus luteum secretes female hormones, mainly progesterone. Then we have here image about the ovarian cycle. Then about the process I talked. So then we have the uterine cycle. The uterine cycle can be divided into three parts. That these are menstruation. That the menstruation lasts from day 1 to about day 5 and consists of the breakdown of the endometrium with blood passing out of the vagina. The low levels of the female sex hormones cause menstruation to occur. Then we have proliferative phase. The proliferative phase is from day 6 to 13 and consists of the build up of the endometrium, which becomes more vascular and glandular. The proliferative phase is caused by increased production of estrogen by the new developing follicle. And last, we have the secretory phase. The secretory phase is from day 15 to 18 and consists of the endometrium doubling or tripling in thickness and uterine glands producing a thick mucus secretion. The secretion of progesterone by the corpus luteum caused the secretory phase. The endometrium is now prepared to receive a developing embryo. If fertilization and implantation do not occur, the corpus luteum will degenerate, resulting in lower levels of sex hormones that will lead to the breakdown of the endometrium and menstruation. And here I have another image about the uterine cycle. And at last, how the ovarian cycle influences the uterine cycle. So, the female hormones estrogen and progesterone produced by ovaries during the ovarian cycle affect the endometrium, causing the uterus to undergo the cyclic changes known as the uterine cycle. And the ovarian cycle governs the preparation of endocrine tissues and release of eggs, while the menstrual cycle governs the preparation and maintenance of the uterine lining. So that is all about my part. So I hope you enjoy my presentation and thanks to be watching this video. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so finally we got the birth of control methods. Okay, so this is the last point, this is the point number 5. So I will explain it to you in the PowerPoint, and I will be here. I'm smaller, but it's for you to see the presentation. Okay, guys. Okay, so yeah, methods. I hope you see. Okay, so methods of birth control. Okay, so as an introduction, there are a lot of methods available to block um, the reproductive potential in human beings. Birth control methods are used to regulate the number of children a couple will have. Yeah, that's basic things we know, basic stuff. So by this, I made it, well, I investigated and I found that there were a lot of methods, so I just chose 15, okay? 15. 15, okay, so 15 birth control methods that are not 100% safe, because the only thing that is safe, that we are sure in this life, is that we are going to die. So these control methods are not that safe, but they are good enough, they are confident enough to list them in the top 15, okay? So our first three: contraceptive diaphragm or cap. Okay, so it's a contraceptive diaphragm or cap. Is a circular dome made of thin soft silicone that's inserted into the vagina before sex. So how it works, it fits inside your vagina and prevents sperm passing through the cervix. So I will tell what is the method and how it works, okay? And yes, okay. Then we have combined pill. This is also called the pill, the famous pill. It contains artificial versions of female hormones estrogen and progesterone, which are produced naturally in the ovaries. The pill prevents the ovaries from releasing an egg each month, and that means like the baby. Then the condoms. There are two types of condoms. This is like the most common one. Um, External and female condoms or male and female condoms. They are worn on the penis and inside the vagina, respectively, and are made from very thin latex, polysporin, or polyputyrene, and are designed to stop your semen from meeting your sexual partner. Okay. Okay, and then if you don't understand well, because I read a little fast, I have here some images. So here you have it, the diaphragm, the pills, and condoms. Okay, then our next three contraceptive. Oh, here we have the top three contraceptive. First, we have the contraceptive implant. It's a small flexible plastic rod that's placed under the skin in your upper arm by a doctor or nurse. The implant steadily releases the hormone progesterone into your bloodstream, which prevents the release of an egg each month. Yes, there we have it. Ovulation, okay? And and I think that's it. Okay. The contraceptive injection. The contraceptive injection releases the hormone progesterone into your bloodstream to prevent pregnancy. The contraceptive injection steadily releases the hormone progesterone into your bloodstream. Okay, it's like the same thing, but one is implant and one is injection. Okay, like one is injection like in your butt, and well, I don't know where it's supposed to be put it, but well, the implant is in our arm. Okay, so the contraceptive patch is a small sticky patch that releases hormones into your body through your skin to prevent pregnancy. All of this to prevent pregnancy. Okay. There we have it. Well, the implant, yeah. Well, maybe the injection is in the butt and the patch is like a band-aid. Okay. And next three, the female condoms. Okay, I know I repeat the condoms, but the female condoms are good enough, how you say it, it's worth it to mention them. Okay, so are made from soft, thin synthetic latex, like almost all the condoms. They are worn inside the vagina to prevent semen getting to the womb, and yeah, that's it. Then the Intrauterine Device, IUD, and IUD is a small just a T-shaped plastic and copper device that's put into your womb by a doctor or nurse. It releases copper, to stop you getting pregnant and protects against pregnancy for between 5 and 10 years. And it's sometimes called a coil or copper coil. And there you have it, how it works. Alters the cervical mucus, which make it more difficult for sperm to reach an egg and survive and make the ovulation and all that stuff. And then we have the intrauterine system, I use. This shaped plastic device that's put into your womb by a doctor or nurse. All of these methods need to be professionally managed by your doctor or nurse. Okay, so it releases the hormone progesterone to stop you getting pregnant. Oh, and this one lasts for 3 to 5 years. Okay, depending on the brand. So if you don't know the difference between each of these intrauterine stuff. So The intrauterine device releases copper, okay, and the intrauterine system releases the hormone progesterone, okay. That's simple, and I mean it's like the same thing, but the intrauterine device is it lasts for more time. Then the natural family planning, I mean it's by its name. I think we all know what is it. It's a method of contraception where a woman monitors and records different fertility signals during her menstrual cycle to work out when she's likely to get pregnant, okay? Then the progesterone only pill. Okay, this is like the other pill, but this time is with the hormone progesterone. So, it, its abbreviation, it's pop like pop. Oh, pop like a magician. Okay, so prevents pregnancy by thickening the mucus in the cervix to stop sperm, the ovulation, and yeah, then vagina ring. The vagina ring is a small soft plastic ring that you place inside your vagina. It releases a continuous dose of the hormones estrogen and progesterone into the bloodstream to prevent, you know, pregnancy. Okay, so here we have the first one, the natural family planning. I mean, you need to manage your calendar. The pill is progesterone, and here you have the ring if you didn't know how it's supposed to be. And then, and then these last three, we are in the last three, are permanent, okay? So we have like the top, okay? Female sterilization is an operation to permanently prevent pregnancy permanently. The fallopian tubes are blocked or sealed to prevent the eggs reaching the sperm and become fertilized. Female sterilization works by preventing eggs traveling down the fallopian tubes, which link the ovaries to the womb. So this means a woman's eggs cannot meet sperm, so fertilization cannot happen. It's like cutting the butt of the sperm, something like that. Okay. Then here you have it. But let's focus on first the definition. Okay. So then we have the famous vasectomy. A vasectomy works by stopping sperm getting into a man's semen, the fluid that he ejaculates. The tubes that carry sperm from a man's testicle to the penis are cut, blocked, or sealed with heat. This means that when a man ejaculates, the semen has no sperm in it, and a woman's egg can be fertilized. It's like cutting the problem from the very, how do you say, from the very top of the problem, like, yeah. Okay, and here you have it, abstinence. I mean, this is pretty simple. Just don't have relations, please. If you don't have relations, you will prevent all of these. Well, you don't have to wear all these things because these things are supposed to be worn in relations. Okay, so here you have it, the female sterilization. You got the fallopian tubes. There you have it, and the vasectomy. Also, you got like that type of path, and the abstinence that is pretty simple. Oh, and I finished. So then the other problem, the other part that I want to tell you is which are the birth control methods that prevent the STI, the sexually transmitted infections. Okay, so if you observe like in detail, you saw use some methods that were underlined, okay? So we have three: the contraceptive, diaphragm or cap, the condoms, and well, and the female condom. Okay. So these three are just the only methods, birth control methods, that in both in sexually transmitted infections and in pregnancy, they prevent those things, okay? Okay, but the condoms, I mean, are like the most common ones, are the safer, but not that efficient, like I told you before, not 100%. And the diaphragm, the cap, well, let's call it cap. The cap is not that safe, is less safe than the condom, and by professional people is, well, I'm telling you, it's not that safe, but it still work, okay? So we have three: the male condom, the female condom, and the diaphragm or cap. So yes. And I finish. So I hope that you saw all, because I I have my camera here, but and I hope that you read it all, because my camera could obstruct the letter. So just I have 13 minutes. This video will be too long. Okay, so yes, this is our final video. So hope you enjoy it. And yeah, thank you for seeing the video, and we will meet in another video. So thank you. I'm Enrique, and bye bye.